everybody, how y'all doing? You know, this is Happy Black History Month. This is the last week of Black History, and I just wanted to share with everybody just a really wonderful story. It's very informational. It's about a little boy named Theo, and it can enlighten you to help you to understand why we celebrate Black History Month. Why do we celebrate Black History Month? Well, I'm so glad you asked. The reason why we do is because so many inventions and so many contributions and things that Black Americans did have been overlooked or buried or even stolen. This is a story of a little boy named Theo who woke up one morning and asked his mom, "Mom, what if there were no Black people in the world?" Well, his mother thought about that for a moment and then said, "Son, follow me around today and let's just see what it would be like if there were no Black people in the world." Mom said, "Now go get dressed and we'll get started." So Theo ran to his room to put on his clothes. His mother took one look at him and said, "Theo, where are your shoes?" "And those clothes are all wrinkled, son. I must iron them." But when she reached for the ironing board, it was no longer there. You see, Sarah Boone, a Black woman, invented the ironing board. And Jan E. Metzlinger, a Black man, invented the shoe-lasting machine. "Oh, well," she said, "please go and do something to your hair. Please, Theo, it looks a mess." So Theo ran to his room to comb his hair, but the comb was not there. You see, Walter Sammons, a Black man, invented the comb. Theo decided to just brush his hair, but the brush was gone because you see, Lydia O. Newman, a Black woman, invented the hairbrush. Well, this was a sight. No shoes, wrinkled clothes, hair a mess, even Mom's hair without the hair care inventions of Madam C.J. Walker. Well, you get the picture. Mom told Theo, "Let's do our chores around the house and then take a trip to the grocery store." Theo's job was to sweep the floor. He swept and swept and swept. When he reached for the dustpan, it was not there. You see, Lloyd P. Ray, a Black man, invented the dustpan. So he swept and swept his pile of dirt over in the corner and left it there. He then decided to mop the floor, but the mop was gone. You see, Thomas W. Stewart, a Black man, invented the mop. Can you believe it? Theo yelled to his mom, "Mom, I am not having any luck." "Well, son," she said, "let me finish washing those clothes and we will prepare a list for the grocery store." When the wash was finished, she went to place the clothes in the dryer, but it was not there. Why not? Because George T. Salmon, a Black man, invented the clothes dryer. Mom asked Theo to go get a pencil and some paper to get their list together for the market. So Theo ran for the paper and pencil, but noticed that the pencil lead was broken. Well, he was out of luck because John Love, another Black man, invented the pencil sharpener. Mom reached for a pen, but it was not there. William Purvis, a Black man, invented the fountain pen. As a matter of fact, Lee Burridge invented the typewriting machine and W.A. Lovett the advanced printing press. Theo and his mother decided to just go ahead out to the market. Well, when they opened the door, they noticed that the grass was as high as Theo was tall. You see, the lawnmower was invented by John Burr, a Black man. They made their way over to the car and found that it just wouldn't go. You see, Richard Spikes, a Black man, invented the automatic gear shift and the system for internal combustion engines. Richard Spikes, actually, he invented the automobile, automatic gear shift, and Joseph Gamow invented the supercharged system for internal combustion engines. They noticed that the few cars that were moving were running into each other and having wrecks because there was no traffic signals. You see, Garrett A. Morgan, a Black man, invented the traffic light. Well, it was getting late, so they walked to the market to get their groceries and return home. And just when they were about to put away the milk, eggs, and butter, they noticed the refrigerator was gone. You see, you guessed it, John Standard, a black man, invented the refrigerator. So they just left the food on the counter. By this time, Theo noticed it was getting mighty cold. Mom went to turn up the heat, and what do you know? Alice Parker, a black woman, invented the heating furnace. Even in the summertime, they would have been out of luck because Frederick Jones, a black man, invented the air conditioner. It was almost time for Theo's father to come home from work. He usually takes the bus, but there was no bus because his precursor and the electric trolley, invented by another black man, Albert R. Robinson, invented that. And usually he takes the elevator from his office to the 20th floor, but there was no elevator because Alexander Miles, a black man, invented the elevator. And he usually dropped off the office mail at the nearby mailbox, but it was no longer there either because Philip Downing, a black man, invented the letterbox drop. And William Barry invented the postmarking and canceling machine. Theo and his mother sat at the kitchen table with their heads in their hands. And when their father arrived, "Why are you sitting in the dark?" he said. "Why? Because did you know that Lewis Howard Latimer, a black man, he invented the filament within that light bulb?" And so Theo quickly learned what it would be if there were no black people in the world. Not to mention, if he was ever sick and needed blood, Charles Drew, a black scientist, found a way to preserve and store blood, which led to his starting the world's first blood bank. And what if a family member had to have heart surgery? This would not have been possible without Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, a black doctor, who he performed the first open heart surgery. So if you ever wonder, like Theo, where would we be without us? Well, it's pretty plain to see. We would still be in the dark. So share the knowledge, share it with your kids, your grandkids, your brothers, your sisters. Share the knowledge, and happy Black History Month.